Okay, we are just tracking developments that are taking place at the bottom of your screens. As I mentioned, BJP leading in 13, the JDU leading in 4, the Congress picking up an early lead in a couple, still a long way to go. The RJD leading in 16. The others are also leading, and in the figure at the bottom of your screens, Prashant Kishore qualifies in the others list. The figure in the middle of your screens has him listed separately. Chirag Paswan also qualifies in the others there. The LJP leading in 2. Still very early, long way to go. I would still say a couple of hours to go before we have a practicality in who's leading from where and who's actually heading into government formation and what the trends that are solidifying into. Let me, before I rope in Pooja from the Congress, let me get Dilip Cherian in. Dilip Cherian, the biggest conversation for the last 2 days has not been the congruity of the exit polls, which are giving the same median average, but it has been the voter turnout, that the number of people who have come out. Now, I know one factor is different. The last election happened during COVID. People were not able to travel as freely. This time, a lot of people have returned home to Bihar to travel, to vote, and a lot of women, record numbers, highest since 1951, have come out to vote. Why? What have we understood from this?
I think there are 3 clear messages from the numbers we see in terms of turnout. The first is that it's a re-establishment of the fact that in terms of political enthusiasm, there is no state at the same level as Bihar across the country. I think it outdoes even Uttar Pradesh, which is seen as very electorally active. The second thing is that, the mahal of safety, the feeling that you can go out without the danger of getting bullied. This is establishing itself as a factor, and I think if one takes samples across constituencies, you will see the same thing going on, that people have a lack of fear, which used to be a factor in Bihar and which in many senses has disappeared over the last couple of decades. I think at least a decade that I can see. And the third factor, I think, is that this election has seen some pretty big issues as far as the local populace is concerned. The first is whether somebody who has delivered results for them on the ground, like Nitish, is going to have the option to continue. And the second is Tejaswi's promise, the gigantic promise made of jobs for one person from every family. I think between these 2 enthusiasms, as it were, people have felt the need to go and express their franchise, and it's a good thing. If you look at the voting percentages, and especially the kind of support that women have demonstrated for Nitish and for the ruling alliance, whether it is because of the 10,000 rupees that turned up magically in so many accounts or not, but the fact is that this has enthused people, and that matters.
Okay, but what are the factorials? The factorials are saying government job is what people are interested in. 10,000 rupees is what people are interested in. What happened to infrastructure development in Vikas? Does that come secondary to all of this, Dilip Cherian?
Unfortunately, it does. We haven't seen too much debate on that, or leaders plugging that as an issue which they think will be their response once they're elected. So if they're not plugging it as the deliverables, as early deliverables, then clearly in the public consciousness, that isn't a big issue. It's a bit like UP, where people constantly on the ground are saying, look, we are not so concerned about an extra road or an extra connection, electric connection. We are talking about the freedom to exist and to do the things that we should be able to do to get ahead in life, and we have the confidence to do that as long as there is no threat to our existence.
So let's not kid ourselves. Away from big ticket infrastructure projects, which is rail,